This week on Pure Instinct, we're going to be following Dustin Bannock as he heads into the Peace River Hills in search of elk, moose, whitetail, and anything else he has a tag for. The animals that we have up here are so diverse. You could switch from an elk to a moose to a whitetail all in a heartbeat. As long as you got the tag, you know your options are open. Scott, do you want some good news or bad news? There's no bad news, we got a bull down.
Pure Instinct is brought to you by Weaver Group Limited, a leader in Western Canada's energy industry. Redline Powercraft and Yamaha. Trim FX. Red Wing Boots. Black Eagle Arrows. Alberta West Transport. Dave Booth Taxidermy. Deluxe Wall Tents. And Johnny's Sausage and Meats. So this spot where Dustin's going to be hunting moose and elk has a little bit of a history with me. A few years back, Jonathan and I were out in the hills hunting elk, and we were on a bull, back and forth calling, and it was getting closer, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, we had a bull moose start calling to us. And I know, Jonathan's calling is a little bit suspect, but it's not that bad, it's really not. And this moose kind of getting closer and closer, and the moose kept making more distance than the elk was. So we switched gears, we went right after the moose, we got right on him, we didn't get him. It was just one of those things, wind switched directions, we were really close on him, probably close to 70 yards, and we just couldn't seal the deal. But this area, the same thing happened to me this next year. Okay, here we are, we're probably about a mile in, middle of nowhere. We started out elk hunting, and we seen a bull moose off to the side, probably just 250 yards out, nice bull moose, so we switched gears, went right after him. We got up probably about 70 yards from the cow, and that was as close as we could get to her. He come down below us on one of the ridges, and we could hear his horns as he was walking. You could hear his horns hitting trees, but we couldn't get in on him at all. So now we're switching gears back to elk and go find Mark. This right here, this little ledge, you can see that tree right there. This is crazy. Like, this is nuts. I'm not
one tree stand there.
I'm not saying I'm going to come back and show Dustin where to hunt moose, but we got to fill up 13 episodes. Dustin and I know Dustin's been hunting his whitetail stand now for probably close to 10 days, and he's kind of getting frustrated. Nothing's coming in on his whitetail stand. So I get to have a little talk with him. He switched gears, and he's coming over now to meet me. I'm going to walk in. We're going to go look at this little water hole, and he's going to set up on this water hole. It's gorgeous. For somebody who's got time, he had probably close to a week to dedicate to this water hole. So I thought if he sat it out for a week, especially with the heat we were getting, it was going to pay off for sure.
I've been sitting here for pretty near 10 days. Feels like it. It's only, what are we on? Okay, so 6 days. Way off. But it feels like 10. And I'm getting discouraged, so I'm gonna move move out. I really wanted a buck with velvet, and I know any day here they're gonna start losing the velvet, so I'm not gonna pressure this area. I'm going to call this the last night. Then I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna go into muley hunting, muley and moose. Fingers are crossed.
This segment brought to you by Redline Powercraft and Yamaha. Family fun from land to sea.
Limited, the leader in Western Canada's energy industry.
This morning, I got in here about 20 after 8. Got in a little late, got held up by some hunters on a road with some moose in front they were looking at. So I kind of told them I'd back out, went back around and headed north. I went in late, like I say, bugled to bulls about till noon, 1 o'clock. They settled down. We know exactly where they are. We're gonna go back in here. It's just shortly after 4, sundown at about 7:30, so give us a couple hours to get in there, get situated, talk to some bulls, and maybe pull a sneak on some in the hills as they're coming up top here.
So these hunts, when we start walking into the hills, we don't really have a direct animal that we're after. We have our moose calls, we have our elk calls, and we kind of wait for the first thing that presents the opportunity.
Oh yeah, all the hill that she usually calls the bulls in.
As Dustin is walking down into the hills, they get a bull bugling at him.
That's the one this morning. Here's Growl. I want to keep moving. I want to get closer.
They get close on a nice little bull, but they couldn't pull the big guy out of the timber, the thick bush down at the bottom.
15 minutes. Elk are bugling behind me. I got a bull moose over here bugling, grunting. Man, this is a good morning. I can see my breath. Something's gonna happen here.
So last year, Dustin was actually sitting in a tree stand in very close proximity of the ground blind he's sitting in on this moose this year. The very same thing last year. He was hunting moose, probably one of his favorite animals if you ask him, you know, what he likes to hunt. He likes hunting moose. He's sitting waiting on a bull moose that he's seen in this area, and a bull elk bugles right behind him. So he scrambles, pulls out his elk calls in his pack, lets a couple chirps go, and within 20 minutes, he has a beautiful 280-inch, 290-inch bull elk on the ground. The very same was very possible for this upcoming ground blind that he's about to set in. You know, the animals that we have up here are so diverse. You could switch from an elk to a moose to a whitetail all in a heartbeat. As long as you got the tag, you know, your options are open.
This segment brought to you by Black Eagle Arrows, the most durable and accurate arrows on the market.
Back in my day, we didn't have these yuppie coffee stores. We roasted our coffee over a fire like real men. Ain't that right, Brutus? You're such a good dog. Old Smoke's Coffee, crafted coffee for the courageous. Have a big cup, shut the up.
There's a lot of tracks out here. Secluded waterhole in the middle of nowhere that we ended up stumbling over. It's chilly this morning. Lots of movement hopefully today. Fog is rolling in. They're still bugling.
Hey, Scott, do you want some good news or bad news? There's no bad news, we got a bull down. The good news is, I can see where he's living.
This segment brought to you by Weaver Group Limited, a leader in Western Canada's energy industry.
Perfect shot. First bull moose of 2016 on the team. My first bull moose with archery. I'm awestruck. Couldn't have asked for a better first bull. I'm speechless. It happened so quick. Within a matter of 5-10 minutes, it was all over. We heard some rustling in the trees this boy, and another one come over the hill. And I was going to shoot the smaller bull first because he offered a better broadside quartering away shot. And this guy turned sideways at the last minute and offered me a beautiful broadside shot. I put the arrow through him and he didn't even go 5 yards. Broadside, 37 yards. And everything's history from there. Okay, as you can see, we have skinned one side of the moose. We're gonna peel it out. I'm gonna take his back straps off all the way to his bum, and we're gonna take his front leg off and his back leg off of his body. And I'm gonna pack those 3 items out of here before I skin any more of him out. We got all our clothes on here to keep the flies off because it is starting to get warm out. I do have my dad bringing us coolers and ice to make sure that this meat can still be salvaged. But now, basically, we're working against the clock. We're gonna try get this thing done at a reasonable pace, making sure it don't spoil. We got a breeze and an overcast. Couldn't ask for any better weather. We're stuck in the open and the sun's here the whole day, so this overcast is gonna help us a lot.
I want to say congratulations to Dustin Bannock. That is a beautiful bull moose, and you know, all the work that had to go in to pull that thing out in itself is an absolute feat. I know if it was me, I actually don't know what I would have done. I probably wouldn't have shot him. I would have just videotaped him coming in, having a drink, looking all majestic and beautiful, and then walking off. It looked like way too much work to me, but
congratulations, and I'm not going to charge you anything for me putting you in that spot in that area. Just consider it family discount. So the trail cam picture of the week is Frank Holman. Frank, as I look at this picture, when we talked about it, we looked at the pictures, you definitely deserve some swag, because judging by the look of those nostrils on that bear, I'm pretty sure there's no camera left. So thanks for sending in a pic. Hope you enjoyed the toque, the hoodie, and the gear.
If you would like to be considered for the Trail Camera Picture of the Week, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and send us your favorite pictures.